It's unfortunate that three of the five losses that Dan Lanning has at Oregon are to Washington, each by a field goal.
Yes.
It's just one of those things that we'll see if it continues into the Big Ten, but they just can't seem to get over the hump against Washington.
They can't get it done. They can't get it done. What's up, Scott? Quack, quack, quack. Yeah, man. But look, let's go ahead and get right into it because it was a great game. Washington does pull it out 34-31. But Alex, and I was talking to you before, Washington jumped out to this lead where they get up and there's 20-3. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty high early in this ball game. And for a while, it's kind of like, is this going to be a blowout? Like, where you at, Oregon? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it took a while for them to get going. And even as quickly as 10-0 in the first quarter, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Right.
And then Oregon's defense kind of woke up a little bit, forced that punt early in the second. And then all they could get was a field goal driving all the way down the field. So then I was like, okay, like at least it's something. And then Washington responds with that touchdown right away. And I was just like, okay, yeah, like they're in trouble. But it was like every time Oregon clawed their way back and took the lead or tied it or whatever the scenario was, Washington just jumped right back ahead.
Right.
And props to Washington. They played a phenomenal game and they deserve to be the Pac-12 champion.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, and, we looked at this one kind of like a Heisman preview, which quarterback, whoever wins this game, gets elevated into that Heisman, front runner and everything like that. But I don't think the winner of this game, kind of is indicative of who the Heisman is. Look, we saw what Penix did early and he did great, but Bo Nix was down early and he led that team in. He had that, you remember that one play where he sits there, pump fakes, gets the guy up in the air, and then takes off down the sidelines for like 30, 40 yards. And you see him start to just keep clawing, Oregon back in the game. And I felt for him because you saw him on the sidelines towards the end. He had the towel over his head. He was emotional to come from what he came from at Auburn, where it was a dumpster fire. The coach, Brian Harsin getting fired, everything was in shambles. To come here with Dan Lanning and get to that point, he has nothing to be ashamed of. But I honestly, if I'm one of the voters, I'm boosting him above Penix.
Yeah, especially he outplayed Penix last night. Penix had a lot of help from that run game. Nix had to do a lot of it on his own.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers, it's 3 touchdowns versus 1. They both had the pick. Penix had more yardage, but it wasn't a crazy amount more. To me, I do still hold true to my prediction from last week. I think it's going to be Jayden Daniels that wins the Heisman.
Yeah.
I mean, both quarterbacks played very well. I don't want to make it sound like Penix didn't do anything. He played a very good game as well. But to me, Bo Nix was the better quarterback in this game.
Yeah.